Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today sit a while for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators. So I did things, I did say that I was going to do things, mostly tinker with my lineup to reduce salary, and I did just that. Sadly, one of the trades that I made, I forgot to save the email for, so I will tell you right now. I traded Alexei Yashin to Anaheim for Jordan Leopold. There really wasn't a lot of good offers for Yashin. I hesitated between Jordan Leopold, Alexander Koroliak, and Jason Smith. That's how bad the offers were. So Leopold was the youngest of them all, and he didn't make a whole lot of money, so that's why I decided to go with him. Now, in a very interesting twist of fate, I guess the game's got jokes or something, I also traded Daniel Alfredsson, and as you can see, as it would turn out, I traded him to Detroit. So Sens fans are gonna kill me, but that was the best offer I got. Detroit offered me a 20-year-old Justin Abdelkader for Daniel Alfredsson, so I jumped on that again. I'm trying to shed salary. I did get a few other offers that were pretty interesting, but they were pretty costly as well. One of them was Miroslav Shatan from Edmonton, and the other one, I really couldn't believe I was offered that, but he was paid more than Alfie, so I didn't jump on it, and it was Peter Forsberg. So Colorado offered me Peter Forsberg for Daniel Alfredsson, but I did not take it. I took the young player that we're gonna need to develop a little bit and shed some salary. So that was kind of what I wanted to do. So I traded two players that were part of my leadership team. So my captain was Alexei Yashin, and then my assistant captain was, one of them was Daniel Alfredsson. So I got rid of them both. So that's a done deal. So different face for the franchise, and also in case you forgot, I'm letting Brian McCabe walk in free agency, so that's also happening. So we're gonna go ahead and delete that. Then I'm not the only one who made a trade. There was a minor trade between Boston and Vancouver, nothing that's going to go too crazy here. So Boston sent Josh Holden and Martin Skarsoms to the Vancouver Canucks for Kirill Kostov and Brett Skinner. So that happened. Alright, so now John Tortorella was named the new coach for the LA Kings. So, and also I did not re-sign Alain Vigneault. As I said, I was not going to. I was still bitter about him not starting Ryan Miller. So what I did is that I signed a guy to be the coach who actually used to have Ryan Miller in real life, and that is Coach Lindy Ruff. So Lindy Ruff is going to be our new coach for the next 3 or 4 years. I don't remember how many years, until 2011. So I signed him. In real life, I was kind of a fan of Lindy Ruff as a coach. I thought that he wasn't always given the best teams in Buffalo, but Buffalo was pretty much always pretty much competitive, despite not having a lot of superstars or anything like that. So I decided to get him. There were like other coaches that were pretty interesting, like Bruce Boudreau was available, but his stats are really bad. And Scotty Bowman was also available, but his stats were horrible, maybe because he's getting old or something, I don't know. So I went with Lindy Ruff. He's going to be our coach here in Ottawa for the next few years. And I'm going to go back to my news now. Alright, so Mike Sullivan lost his job in Anaheim, and he's going to be replaced by Ed Olchuk, who is not a coach of the Ducks. And then Gerard Gallant was fired by Florida. I wonder if he had to take the taxi to the airport like what happened to him in real life. Alright, and then Peter Chiarelli is going to be the coach in Florida, which is a little bit interesting. Chiarelli is a little bit more of a GM that likes to give away very good players for almost nothing. So too bad he's not a GM. I could have tried to fleece him. But that didn't happen. Then we had a whole lot of retirements of, known players and everything. So first, Peter Bundret, 39, retires. He was still a 2-star player. So no more Peter Bundret in my save. Carolina loses Sean Burke to retirement. He was 40. Chris Chelios finally retires at age 45. Theo Fleury retired. He was 39. Trevor Linden also retired. He was 37. Mike Modano retired, 37 as well. And they are retiring his number. Johnny Van Dyke, who played for the Sens for a while, he is also retiring. He was 40 years old. Jeremy Roenick retired, 37. So he spent his entire career with Chicago in my save. Never played anywhere else. Patrick Roy also retired. He was 41, so I guess it's all Carey Price in Montreal now. Teemu Selanne retires in Phoenix. He was 36 years old, so he still had a few good years, I think, but he decided to retire. Matt Sundin in Colorado decided to retire. He was 36. And there's been a trade between the Buffalo Sabres and the New York Islanders. Ronnie Sundin and Trevor Letowski went to the Islanders for Johnny Oduya and Jamie McLellan. So Jamie McLellan is still playing. Oh, I guess he retired or something, because now it shows Wayne Simmons when I mouse over him. Then there's been a trade between Minnesota and Pittsburgh. Josh Harding and Ryan Hamilton are going to the Penguins for Thomas Sorovi and Chad Johnson. And Mike Richter also decided to retire with the Rangers. He was 40. And then Mike Sullivan is going to coach the Devils. Greg Sherman is going to be the GM for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Jim Benning is going to be the GM in Chicago. And then we have two players that are probably never going to be a big staple of our team, but they have joined us. So Derek Smith and the guy who probably has the coolest name for playing in a Western if he were an actor, Jesse Winchester. I totally stole that joke from Dean Brown. I thought it was pretty funny when he said it on air back in the day. But yeah, it's true. I mean, if Jesse Winchester was to play, was an actor, he would have to be playing in a Western or something with a name like that. So those two have joined the Suns. Alright, so then we're gonna go ahead and do that. A little bug in the game. It's very minor, but when you have so many messages and that you delete them all manually one by one, the little icon on the mail icon doesn't go away. Alright, so now we're gonna take a look here. So those are my free agents or unsigned rookies. So I offered them contracts. So we have Cody Bass, Brian Lee, and Ilya Zubov. And then I saw that Sam Gagner was put on waivers. I've put a claim on him. I don't know why I wouldn't put a claim on a 17-year-old with a 2-star potential. I mean, he might become a decent player. So I did that. Oh, wow. So I just got distracted. I just took a look at the preseason games that we have. We're playing the Ducks 3 times during preseason. All at home, too. Wow. Okay. Alright, so that's going to be what's going on here. I am not going after any free agents. For this year, I am going to stay put with what I have. I mean, I did win the Stanley Cup 6 years in a row. I'm gonna... I know I did change my core a little bit by trading Alfredson and Yashin, but I have a few players that can step in. So we're going to go ahead and stay with what we have. Of course, I might claim players on the waivers, and I might do some trades during the regular season if there's something that I don't like. But a guy like Avlat now is going to have a little bit more ice to play, probably, now that Alfredson is gone. Alright, so let's get going here. Alright, so we won the claim of waivers for Sam Gagné, so he's going to be part of our farm team. He's 17, so I'm not playing him, you know, in the NHL or anything like that, but we have him now. Alright, Cody Bass is going to think about joining the Sens. Ilya Zubov is going to think about it too. Brian Lee is going to think about it. And then there's been a few trades. So a trade between Colorado and Nashville. So Samuel Paulson and David Cullen are going to the Predators for Ladislav Nagy and Johan Holmquist. Oh, and also when I was trying to trade Alfredson and Yashin, other teams were trying to give me back players that I got rid of, like Bill Guerin was offered, Peltonen was offered, Andreas Dackel was offered, Ladislav Nagy was offered, so all players that played for the Sens, they were trying to trade them back to me. But anyway. Alright, and then there was a trade between Washington and Atlanta, who play in the same division. So Eric Rasmussen and Maxime Lacroix are going to Atlanta for Patrick Dwyer and Pavel Trunka. Okay, and then a trade between Montreal and Detroit. Nicholas Avlid and Kyle Chipchura are going to Detroit for Sami Lepisto. Okay, interesting trade. God, they both want number 9. Alright, so Sam Gagné wants number 9. Yeah, you're getting 89. That's what I remember you wearing. And Jesse Winchester, I don't remember you wearing number 9. I remember you wearing number 18 with the Sens. So that's what you're getting. Alright. Alright, so you know the drill. There's not going to be a whole lot of things going on all the way up to preseason, so that's usually what happens here. Now, Brian Lee signed. Ray Giroux and David Steckel pitched in at a local homeless shelter. So we've seen that pretty often. They are now better people. Yeah, Brian Lee is going to get number 5 because that's what he was wearing in the end with Ottawa. I could give him 55. That was his first number. Yeah, let's give him 55. There you go. You're a bit upset that's the number you wore when you started in the NHL in real life. You should be happy. Alright, so Cody Bass and Ilya Zubov both signed as well. Alright, so Cody Bass. Oh god, what was Cody Bass' number? Cody Bass was number... God. I want to say 36, but I don't think that's right. I'm gonna give him 36. I don't think it's right, but that's... I don't know why I'm thinking about that. 38 might be right for Ilya Zubov. He really didn't play many games in the NHL, so I don't quite remember what number he wore. Alright, now let's let's move on. How many players do I have under contract? Oh, I'm at 47. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need to be making, signing a bunch of free agents or anything like that. Oh, there's been a trade between Buffalo and Anaheim. Andreas Dackel is going to Anaheim for Keith Carney. Oh, Keith Carney's back in Buffalo, huh? Alright. Then a trade between Colorado and Columbus. Now, as we know, Columbus is not afraid to make big trades. They did make quite a few interesting trades in the past. Let's see. Well, so Ville Nieminen is going to Columbus for Manny Fernandez. So they moved one of their two Mannys as goaltenders. They also had Manny Legacy. So I guess we'll see what goes on over there. Alright, we made it to August 1st. Alright, not a whole lot going on here on the front of development. Alright, so Ray Bork is in the Hall of Fame, as he should. Paul Coffey is in the Hall of Fame. Scott Stevens is in the Hall of Fame. And Grant Fuhr is in the Hall of Fame. Good job. Alright, so we have entered August. Again, that's probably going to be pretty slow. So we're just gonna go kind of fast. Really, unless there's a trade or, something like that. Probably not gonna see a whole lot. And as I said that, the Sabres and the Predators made a deal. So the Sabres are pretty active. Right, so the Sabres traded Doug Janik and Adam Denmarsh to Nashville for Jared Smithson and Nico Snellman. Interesting trade. Not a big trade, but still interesting nonetheless. And then Montreal is also active, so they made a trade with Philadelphia. Now Montreal's pretty strong, and they've been trading pretty well. I'm not liking that, so here's to hoping that they got fleeced in that one. Oh, got Justin Williams, and okay, so Justin Williams goes to Montreal, and Curtis Foster for TJ Oshie that they had gotten from St. Louis, and Guillaume Latendresse. That's interesting. So TJ Oshie needs more development. He's younger than Justin Williams. Justin Williams is 3-star player right now. Pretty good player. That's a pretty big trade. Pretty good trade. It's pretty hard to say who's the clear winner here. I mean, Latendresse is kind of probably not going to develop much. So right now, Montreal for sure has the upper hand, but TJ Oshie is pretty good. So, well, I feel a little bit better that they traded him. I hated for Montreal to have such a good player on their team. Maybe I'm bitter. Maybe I really don't like Montreal. I'm showing my hatred for them. Alright. So we have officially entered the month where we're going to be starting our preseason here. And preseason starts a little early this year, in the middle of September. Usually it's more towards the end. Usually it's more towards the 20th or something. Alright. Barbecue 2 at Twendle for Patrick Marleau. There you go. That's why I traded you for Ryan Miller. You can't even cook a steak. Look at you. Ooh. Alright, so we have a trade proposal from the Carolina Hurricanes. They are offering me Danny Bois, who actually played one game for the Sens in real life, for Jakob Klippisch. Yeah, I'm gonna keep Jakob. I said that Danny Bois played one game for the Sens. It might have been a couple more than that. I do remember his name because his last name is kind of odd for like French people, because his last name basically means woods, but we don't really see the French version in French much, so that kind of always his name always kind of stood out for me. Alright, so that's the part where you might want to press on fast forward. I'm going to be bringing people up so that they can play preseason games. Alright, come on, Jeff Glass, come play in the NHL. Yeah, I don't think Christoph Schubert is going to be playing in the NHL. He had a really strong shot, but man, he couldn't aim the net very well. Of course, I'm speaking about real life. I don't know about in this game. Drazenovich is not developing, and he's a 2-star potential. Do something, buddy. Eat a steak. Go run in the forest or something. Develop those muscles and skills. Oh, Sam Gagner's already in. Oh, that's true. I do have Matt Stajan as well. Peter Regan, who will always be remembered in by Sens fans for that like one great playoff run he had, where he played pretty good, and then it never translated anywhere else, sadly. I did want for him to succeed. Not a lot of Danes in the NHL. Alright, so that part is finally over. Alright, so we are going to... So let's take a look at that first. Not a whole lot of crazy good gains. Sam Gagner seems to be the one who gained the most. Oh god, I have to select my captains. Patrick Eaves is out of shape. Man. Who knew that about 10 years after Wendell Clark retired that he would still be hanging out with young players to show them how to not take care of themselves? Dude, I was counting on you. I traded Alfredson so that I could give you more ice. I'm gonna be mad at you. There you go. Oh, and now I have to assign numbers. Alright. You would prefer number 27. Well, you're getting 47, and you're going to be happy with that. There you go. Yeah, Eric Condor's not getting number 22. He's getting number... Oh, 36 is not available. You're getting number... You're 41. We don't have Anderson, so you can get it. Con Greening, you would prefer number 14. That's fine. You can have it. Matt Stajan would like number 18. Yeah, I already gave it to Jesse Winchester, so you can have... here, you can have Alfie's old number. Andre Mazzaros would like number 16. Usually it would be 14 that you should be wanting. Here, you can have 7. Christoph Schubert, you can have your number 5. Peter Regan would like number 93. Okay, well, I guess you can have that. Alright, yeah, I'm not gonna... Here, you can have number 4. You can have 45. Kigorodov would like 55. 63 it is. Michael Ryder would like number 17. You're getting 71. Actually, you wore number 73 in your career that I remember, so you can have that. Yeah, 88 for training camp it is for Justin Abdelkader. Tim Gleason would like number 8. Everybody wants number 8. Tim Gleason can have number... oh boy. 66, like Mario Lemieux. Alright, Jeff Glass can have number 35. That's fine. Whew, that was a lot of numbers to give. That took a long time. Alright, so we are about to start preseason. How fun is that? And we are starting that against former Ottawa Senator Alexei Yashin, who should be in Anaheim unless something weird happened. Well, he's not there. Look at that. Right, so Anaheim has Andy McDonald that's still hurt from that ruptured bicep tendon that he suffered last season. And in net, oh god, yeah, that team is a little weird. Okay, so Jan Dennis and Ilya Brizgalov are in net. Zdeněk Kutlak, Nolan Pratt, Ladislav Schmid, Alexei Zitnik, Greg Zanin, Mark Popovich. Sami Salo on D. So Sami Salo is now in Anaheim, right there. Oh, he's been there for a while. Chris Kunitz, Geoffrey Lupul, Andreas Dackel, Chad Kilger, Ryan Gestaff, Mike Ryan, Brendan Reed, Brian Smolinski, Dave Scatchard, Paul Correa, Drew Miller, Pierre-Alexandre Parenteau, Corey Perry, and Bobby Ryan. Oh, Bobby Ryan is in the game now. Alright, so let's see if we can beat the Yeah, they really don't have Alexei Yashin anymore. I promise. That's who I traded the... Oh, but maybe his contract was expiring. I mean, Jordan Leopold's contract was expiring, but I extended him because, you know, I know what I'm doing. Alright, so... let's take a look at how we do here. Look at Lindy Ruff. Now he knows which goaltender to use. He's putting Ryan Miller in net. Good. Oh, and my logo finally changed to the right logo, and that is the right year. 2007-2008 is the season that we introduced that logo there. Alright, so Ilya Brizgadov is going to be in net for Anaheim, and Ryan Miller in net for us. Go Sens go, even if it's just preseason. And we won our first preseason game, 3-0. We outshot Anaheim 45-17. Jason Spezza was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Patrick Eliash was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Pavel Datsyuk was the third star with a goal. 14,027 people came and watched us play this preseason game. Alright, so nobody scored in the first period. Then in the second, we had Pavel Datsyuk from Jason Spezza and Patrick Eliash. It was 1-0 Sens after 2. Then in the third period, Patrick Eliash scored on the power play from Jason Spezza, and then Jason Spezza on the power play as well from Matt Unwick and Tim Gleason, and 3-0 is the final score. Yay, win! It was a good night for Rod Brennamore, who had 4 assists against the Wild in a preseason game. Alright, so 50.3 million is going to be the salary cap. And I'm going to be fine because right now I'm at 53, so I'm going to be able to get under that. So we're going to be good for a salary cap. I did have to get rid of Alfredson and Yashin. That doesn't necessarily make me super happy that I had to do that, but it's been taken care of. Alright, so Florida is next, and we are playing them at home as well. Let's take a look. Let's see if they had a good off-season. They kind of need it because they're bad every year. Alright, so in net it's Roman Turek and Jason LaBarbera, so not really a change in net, and yeah, that team is still not very good. So Jay Boomister is there now. Boomister is really good, so that's not a problem. Corey Murphy is is there. Then now Ken Klee is also on the team, and he's unfit, so that's not good for them. Denny Gauthier, Yuri Fisher, Sasha Gotch, Kenny Janssen, Rob Scuderi, Nathan Horton, Matt Molson, Tuoko, Samsonov, Hilbert, Peterson, Campbell, Kessler, Connolly, Payet, Stewart, Uzilius, and Mark Parrish. A lot of the same players are coming back, which is not a good sign for Florida. They've not been very good. Now they might beat us because we're not going with our A team. Roman Turek is going to be in net for Florida. We are going to Ryan Miller again. And we won 3-1, even though we played a lot of guys that are not even going to play in the NHL. They did outshoot us 42-33. Michael Ryder was the first star. He had a goal and an assist. Mark Parrish was the second star with an assist. And Ryan Miller was the third star with 41 saves in that game. 11,761 people in attendance for that game. Christoph Schubert opened up the scoring in the first period. It was a short-handed goal scored by assisted by Michael Ryder and Eric Condra. Then Michael Ryder scored from Radulov and Brian Lee, and it was 2-0 Sens after 1. And in the second period, Florida scored, made it 2-1, but then Ilya Zubov scored from Mark Fistrick. It was 3-1. Nobody scored in the third period, so 3-1 is our final score. And Jesse Winchester got hurt. Probably took a bullet somewhere. Alright, next game is in San Jose for a little action against the Sharks. So let's take a look at the Sharks. Again, another team that we're gonna see if they... Oh, they have a pretty decent team for the most part. Kiprusoff in net with Kaltianen. So Kiprusoff is good enough. They don't really need the other guy. Jason Kymore, Josh Gorges, Brad Stewart, Craig Miller, Vitaly Vishnevsky, Carlo Kolayakovo, Matt Carl, Anders Eriksson, and Scott Annan on D. Couple holes, but that D is alright. McLaren, McCulloch, Torrey Mitchell, Pascal Réaume, Ray Whitney, who was also offered for against Alfredson, Peter Schiffer, Marcel Gotch, Kozlov, Tenute, Pavelski, Mayer, Kaspar. Decent team. Let's see what we do here. So we're still going to Ryan Miller and facing Mika Kiprusoff. And we won 6-2. We outshot the Sharks 42-12. Jason Spezza was the first star. He had 2 goals and an assist. Joe Thornton was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Robin Regier was the third star with an assist. So San Jose opened up the scoring in the first period. Then Joe Thornton tied the game from Jason Spezza and Brooks Lake. And it was tied at 1 after 1. Then the Sharks took the lead again. It was 2-1. And then Jason Spezza scored from Joe Thornton. And then Spezza again from Robin Regier and Joe Thornton. 3-2 was the score after 2. And we scored 3 more goals in the third period, with Michael Ryder scoring from Mike Fisher. Then Zdeno Chara scored on the power play from Patrick Eliash. And Pavel Datsyuk from Marian Hossa and Patrick Eliash. 6-2 was the final score. We are still perfect in preseason, which, you know, it doesn't count, so who cares? Alright, and we are about to play Phoenix, who just lost Teemu Selanne to retirement. So let's see what they look like now. Alright, so it's... oh... yeah, that team might be struggling. So Nikolai Abibulin and David Leneveux in net. Then Jason Smith, Steve Popes, Nick Ross, Jay Leach, Chris Allen, Teppo Numinen on D. That's... oof, that D is brutal. When your best defenseman on the team is 39 years old, that's rough. Alright, so Shane Doan, Kevin Porter, Blake Wheeler, Keith Kitchuk, Martin Seaback, Chris Draper, Daniel Briere, Nokalainen, Zamnov, Fisher, Kostov, Pascal Dupuis, Daniel Winnick, Mikael Samuelson, and Freddie Schustrom. Yeah, that team is probably not making the playoffs this year. I would be quite surprised. Ryan Miller in net, Abby Boonin in net for Phoenix. And we won 3-0. We outshot Phoenix 51-16. Patrick Eliash was the first star. He had 2 assists. Joe Thornton was the second star with 2 assists as well. And Jason Spezza was the third star with 2 goals. So Jason Spezza opened up the scoring in the first period on the power play from Patrick Eliash and Joe Thornton, and then he scored again in the second, and it was his 5th of the preseason on the power play from Patrick Eliash and Joe Thornton. 2-0 Sens after 2. Then in the third, Pavel Datsyuk scored short-handed from Marian Hossa, and 3-0 is the final score. Ooh. Bad news for Pittsburgh. Sidney Crosby is hurt. He's not hurt for that long. He's going to be out for 4 weeks after suffering a fractured foot. So he's going to miss about maybe 6 or 7 games, something like that. Considering that, you know, preseason's not over. Ryan Kessler has a good game. He had 4 assists against Toronto. And Jesse Winchester might be coming back. Alright, and we're about to play Anaheim again. We just looked at them, so we're not going to look at their lineup again. Jan Dennis against Ryan Miller. And we won 6-2. We outshot Anaheim 47-26. Jason Spezza was the first star. He had a goal and 3 assists. Joe Thornton was the second star with 4 assists. And Pavel Datsyuk was the third star with 2 goals and an assist. We had 13,764 people in attendance for that game. So Pavel Datsyuk opened up the scoring in the first period from Jason Spezza and Joe Thornton. And then Bobby Ryan scored to tie the game. Then Mark Streit scored on the power play from Jason Spezza and Joe Thornton, made it 2-1 Sens after 1. Pavel Datsyuk from Jason Spezza and Joe Thornton in the second. And then Patrick Elias from Ryan Callahan and Chris Kelly. It was 4-1 Sens after 2. And finally, in the third period, Brooks Laich scored from Mike Fisher and Pavel Datsyuk, made it 5-1. Then Anaheim scored, made it 5-2. And then Jason Spezza scored on the power play from Mark Streit and Joe Thornton. 6-2 is the final score. Senators lose Patrick Eaves to minor facial cut, out for 5 days. So you're so out of shape that you can't shave no more. That's how bad it is. And Joe Thornton had 4 assists, as we saw, so he is mentioned in the news. Ooh, Eric Weinrich is out for 4 months. He's still playing. He's in Buffalo now, and 40 years old, but he is out for 4 months. No one could stop Sergei Mozyakin, who had 4 goals against Buffalo. Alright, and Jesse Winchester is about to come back. And we are about to play the Washington Capitals in Washington. Oh, they have quite a few injuries there. Alright, so Kozig and Tuukka Rask net. That should be pretty good. That shouldn't be a problem. Carl Alsner, Marty Järventie, Per Gustafsson, Nathan Page, Mike Green, who's hurt, Sean Hill, Jesse Schultz, and Ryan Whitney, who's hurt as well. That's the D. That's not that great. Alexandre Burrows, Andrew Brunette, Matt Ellis, Matt Pittenger, Alex Ovechkin, Nick Backstrom, Boyd Gordon, Brian Sotheby, Steve Bernier, Chris Bourque, Pat Dwyer, Alexander Simmon, and Jeff Alpern. Those are the forwards. So good goaltending, good forwards. The D's are a little shaky in Washington, so I'm not sure what that's gonna look like for them this year. Ryan Miller in net for us, Tuukka Rask in net for the Caps. And we won 4-0. So we were able to keep Ovechkin from scoring a goal, or 2, or 5. And we outshot the Caps 55-18. Chris Kelly was the first star. He had a goal and an assist. Patrick Elias was the second star with 2 goals. And Tim Gleason was the third star with 2 assists. Patrick Elias opened up the scoring in the first period on the power play from Zdeno Chara. It was 1-0 Sens at that point. Then in the second period, we had Joe Thornton score from Marian Hossa and Sheldon Surrey, made it 2-0. And then, of course, we scored 2 goals in the third period. Chris Kelly scored from Tim Gleason, and Patrick Elias from Tim Gleason and Chris Kelly. 4-0 is the final score. No one could stop Jeff Carter. So Jeff Carter was not signed prior to free agency. Apparently he re-signed with Philadelphia, as they should have. And he got 3 goals and an assist against Phoenix. And Jesse Winchester is primed to play again. I don't even know if you're going to play, buddy. Alright, so let's go ahead and play against the Ducks for the 3rd time in this preseason. And apparently Jan Dennis has been facing us every single time. I believe that... no, I think the first game was Brizgalov. I know the last one was against Dennis. And then Ryan Matter is going to be in net, so Ryan Matter will have played all of the preseason games for us. I guess that Lindy Ruff understood my message loud and clear. If you're going to come and coach the Ottawa Senators, you are better play Ryan Matter in net. And we managed to lose this game 5-3. So we lost the last preseason game. We did outshoot Anaheim 46-20. Andreas Dackel was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Brooks Lake was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Brandon Reed was the third star with 2 assists. 12,502 people in attendance for that game. So Anaheim scored first, then Mark Streit tied the game on the power play from Brooks Lake, but then Anaheim scored 2 more goals before the end of the first period, and they were up 3-1 at that point. Then in the second period, we had Brooks Lake, who scored to bring us to within 1, assisted by Eliash and Mark Streit. It was 3-2. Then Anaheim scored, then we scored. It was Sheldon Surrey from Pavel Datsyuk and Marinoso, made it 4-3, but then Andreas Dackel scored in an empty net, and 5-3 is how we lost this game. And a good night for Sergei Mozyakin, who had a hat-trick against Chicago, so he's been scoring some goals in preseason. He was offered to me again in my trade for Alfredson. So I could have picked him, 26, and he's kind of scoring goals and everything, so that's pretty good. Oh yeah, he had a good season last year, 38 goals in 76 games. Alright, so that was it for preseason, and the off-season as well. I know I didn't make any big splash. Well, I did trade 2 of my long-tenured senators, so I guess that is a big splash. But as far as free agency goes, I'm pretty up there with contracts anyway. And I mean, I like the team, so I did pick up a few pieces there. So Sam Gagner can become pretty interesting to have. So we'll see. We'll also see who I decide to keep for the season. But for now, that's pretty much it for today. So as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in. And if you've liked the video, feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.